Mine is separate.
No, not me.
Why are you both separate?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like in different phones.
And
My brother's computer shut down, so we're.
my computer phone is that. It's a
Can I?
camera.
It's on my tablet. Should I show you my pig noise?
No.
Okay.
It's good.
No.
Wait, okay.
I've seen pigs before, and they. And
Did you like my sheep noise? Did you like my sheep noise?
I didn't even hear it. I was in the class.
Okay, let me do it again.
No. This is gonna be so weird.
Yeah.
Did you like it? Did you like it?
Kind of. It sounds like a goat.
I didn't hear anything. Me too.
Come on, don't drink from that. It's already done.
I couldn't hear you.
We're not even supposed to use it. That said, we're not allowed to use it for something like this. Okay, I'm not using it.
Why would anybody want goat noise?
The best animal.
What
the
is
best animal ever is
The
a
teacher is
sheep.
here.
But he hasn't said something.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alaikum salam.
How are you all doing?
Good.
Alhamdulillah.
Welcome to you guys.
Teacher,
Quick attendance. Very
That's
quick.
empty.
there's
That's
only
not
five
enough, and it's gonna
today.
go to a whole different coding place, you dumbo.
Very quick attendance. Is Ella here today?
No.
Okay. Selena?
No.
No?
Everybody's late today.
Wow.
It's only Haneen. Is Hania here?
Yeah.
Haneen, Hania, Nida.
Me, of course.
The brothers and Ta'ala.
The brothers and
Ala.
Tala. Okay.
Not Tala.
Yeah, it is.
That sounds like so he said Tala. Nah. Okay. Well, let us start. Let us start. So guys, relax yourself. We're gonna continue with the story of Ibrahim, of course. You think anybody else is gonna join? Maybe wait 1 minute.
Okay.
I don't think Ahmed's gonna come because he didn't come yesterday either.
But we also have Ala, and we also have Salina, Ahmed. Okay, we'll start, and then when they come, we'll review. We'll review what we took when they come. I'll ask you questions if they come, and you guys just answer me.
Okay.
1 second.
Teacher can't hear you.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. We're gonna continue with the story of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam.
With I don't
Tell me so far, what you guys learned about Ibrahim alayhi salam? What do you know about Ibrahim?
Wait.
Talk to me. So far, talk to me. What do you know?
Ustaz, I don't see the screen.
You guys don't see-
I don't see the screen. The screen just says, now I see it. Now I see it.
Okay. Forget about the screen. I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you about a question for you. We're gonna continue, from another part today, more of a story today, you know. But tell me what you learn about Sayyidina Ibrahim so far. Go ahead, Abdurrahman.
I learned that he is he's the father of all the prophets, and he also he was also a very good believer in a very young age.
Correct, mashallah. Okay.
Selena's here.
Haneen. Who's
Shalina.
mashallah.
Selena.
Ahlan wa sahlan, Selena. Yes,
I
yes.
lost the track of time.
Oh, no problem. It happens. Okay, we're still reviewing because we said you guys might comment, so
Okay,
we're still.
teacher,
Haneen.
I know that Ibrahim alayhi salam was the friend of Allah, and he never worshipped the idols, and his dad was like a disbeliever, and
Mashallah. You're not gonna leave anything for anyone. Mashallah. That's good. Mashallah, Haneen. Mashallah alayki. Okay, so Haneen mentioned some important points. Nida.
He didn't believe in the idols, and he smashed them, but and people were really mad at him, so they decided to punish him by throwing him into the fire, but Allah protected him from the fire.
Mashallah, jazakallah khairan. Hania.
Adam alayhi salam,
Assalam.
Ibrahim alayhi salam's dad name was Azar. He builded the statues that they believed.
He
built the idols.
His father, yes. His father built idols. His
Azar.
father, Azar, used to sell these idols. Make and sell these idols, yes.
Who would want to sell a god?
Not Ibrahim, of course. Ibrahim's father, Azar.
Yeah.
Abdullah. Anything else? Did they mention yet?
Yeah, there's something. They didn't mention about how Allah said the fire should be cool and
Bardan wa salaman. Correct. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the fire to be cool and safe. Okay, you're right. So now, mashallah. Mashallah, you guys, beautiful review. So now, make it stuck here. Let me get it out so I can move the wire. So now, he leaves. He is safe from the fire. They realize they cannot harm Ibrahim, so they want him out of Iraq. There are some other stories that happened with him in Iraq, but sooner or later he leaves Iraq. Of course, there's a story that happened with him and Namrud.
I know what the story was.
With Namrud, you know the story? Okay,
Yes.
quick, go ahead.
Okay, Ibrahim married a beautiful wife.
No, before not with the tyrant in Egypt. Not that story.
Namrud commanded the people to burn Ibrahim alayhi salam because he smashed the idols.
Of course, we talked that part. There was a story also with
I
Namrud.
said a story about Namrud.
When
What?
when
Yeah.
Ibrahim was
One person at a time. I'll start the story and then you make sure, because you're thinking about a different story. He debates with Namrud. This was the king of Iraq at the time. He debates with him, and Ibrahim tells Namrud that Allah is the one that gives life and takes life. So Namrud said, I could do that. So he brought 2 of his prisoners.
And then
Now you know the story?
yeah, and then he killed one of the
He killed
prisoners.
one and let the other one live.
teacher.
And then Ibrahim alayhi salam told him that Allah can make the sun rise.
Exactly.
And the moon.
Allah brings there the sun from the east. How we would like you to see it. We would like you to bring it from the west. And he couldn't. Subhanallah. So Ibrahim won the debate. So, yeah. Even
Maybe it's another thing about the moon and the sun.
no, and subhan, that's a different story with his when he was trying to explain to his people that Allah is the creator of everything.
Oh,
Ibrahim, subhanallah, Ibrahim, his story is so long that we try to talk about the most significant part, and maybe in other times we'll emphasize more on others. So Ibrahim, he leaves Iraq. Sooner or later, he leaves Iraq. His mission in Iraq is finished. Whoever believed, there was only going to be the believers at his time. He leaves with a few followers, not a lot. Among them, his wife Sarah, who was also his relative. One of his cousins, Lut, which was also his relative, and some other few believers. Lut, on the way, Allah sent him a message and he became a prophet. Allah sent him a duty, a responsibility for Lut. Allah sent Lut a responsibility and he became a prophet. So on the way, Ibrahim left Lut to his responsibility. SubhanAllah, imagine he's a believer with Ibrahim, and on the way with Ibrahim and they migrated away from Iraq towards Palestine. And when they reached Palestine, Allah told Lut, you stay here. This is your responsibility. And he stayed, and Lut stayed. Where is Jericho today? Where is the place of Ariha today, or the Dead Sea? Not the city of Jericho, because Jericho is, of course, one of the oldest cities in the world, and is still there intact. But the area of the Dead Sea, which is very close to Jericho, which is today is between Jordan, and the Dead Sea is between Jordan and Palestine today. So Lut stays in that area, and we'll talk about Lut in a different. We don't want to talk about this. This is a long story by itself. We'll talk about that in a different story. So Ibrahim, he left his cousin with that message, right? In by the Dead Sea. Where is the Dead Sea located? And Ibrahim, of course, he ends up settling in Palestine, but he has some more travels. Okay, we'll get back to where he settled in Palestine. We'll get back to that towards the end, inshallah. I noticed Ara just came. Ahlan wa sahlan, Ara.
Yes, Ala's here.
Ahlan wa sahlan. So now we get to that story where, and we're going to summarize this story a lot because yesterday me and Abdullah, we discussed it anyway, so a lot of you guys, you know it, that when he went to Egypt, there was this tyrant. Some said it was a pharaoh. Like I said yesterday, don't forget, guys, the pharaohs, they had 3 stages, you know, and this is something that we give in history class. Alhamdulillah, I was for over 12 years a history teacher also. So this is something we give in even world history class, that the pharaohs, they had 3 different levels of history: the old kingdom, and the middle kingdom, and the new kingdom. So when you talk about the pharaohs, you're talking about thousands of years, even before the zero. You know,
I remember my
so it
teacher
could have been one of the
teaching me
pharaohs.
this.
Yes,
I
because even the
remember my
pharaoh.
teacher.
Yes.
I remember my teacher teaching me this, but like I only remember a little bit.
No, okay, you remember the story, but it could have been one of the pharaohs, because even the pharaoh of Moses, Ramses II, the one they think the pharaoh of the time of Moses, Ramses II, he was this pharaoh that you read about Moses. This was a pharaoh in the new kingdom. This is a pharaoh way after many pharaohs. So don't forget, there was pharaohs go back thousands of years, even before Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. There was many different pharaohs, from Menes up until Cleopatra tried to resume the pharaohs back again, and she lost. But it could. Allahu Alam, it could have been one of the pharaohs. Al-Muhim, it could be a tyrant or one of the pharaohs. But you know the story from now, when he told his wife, don't say you're my wife, because this pharaoh, he harms the woman intentionally if she, in front of her husband, to humiliate him. You guys know the story, right? He says, tell them I'm your brother. And what he meant, the brother in Islam, but he just hide the fact that I'm your husband. Anyone knows the story from there?
Yes, I know it.
I
So,
know it.
okay, so with me, I'll talk and you guys, we still have a lot to with Sayyid Ibrahim to talk about. So we're gonna move fast. You guys with me, okay? So while I'm gonna say and then you cut me off and talk, right? With your hands up, of course. So put down your hands and then put up your hands when you want to cut me. So the Pharaoh he still summons them, or the tyrant, he still summons them. They go in by him, and what happens? You see, you have to put down your hand so you can put back up your hand. So he goes in with him, and this Pharaoh, he summons specifically Sarah. He wants to see Sarah. He's a very, indecent person. He wants to see Sarah, Ibrahim's wife. And he tried to approach Sarah in a disrespectful way, of course, not a good way. And Sarah makes this dua. What happened? Yes, Haneen. Sarah says this dua when he tried to approach her. And what happens to the Pharaoh or to the tyrant?
The Pharaoh fails.
His body stopped moving. He come like paralyzed.
Yeah,
His hands become paralyzed.
Sarah alayhi salam was covered. She was wearing hijab and covering her whole body. So the one who wants to touch the king he wanted to touch and get the hijab off of her. So then when he was about to do that, his hand fell down. And
Correct.
he couldn't put his hand up.
And this happened about 3 times, Allahu Alam, 3 times. And then
He
3
gave up.
times. And then in the end, he was thinking, we don't want to stay in this story too long. We have so much other parts. He thought that she was doing like some type of spell on him. He's not a believer. He's not a mu'min. So he don't know this is the power of Allah. He think that this is some kind of magical spell. So what he does is he gives her a gift, like a gift. I give you a gift, but please keep your magic away from me, like that, So you guys know what's the gift?
What?
Hajar alayhi salam?
Yes. Hajar alayhi salam. Hajar, she is given as a gift to Sarah. Sarah, Ibrahim's first wife, she always felt sorry for Ibrahim because Ibrahim wanted children. He never got children. She never got to give him children. So she got Ibrahim married to this, she gave Ibrahim this gift and married him to this gift. Sarah. Sarah did this, subhanAllah. Sarah did this voluntarily. And then Hajar became Ibrahim's second wife. She became Ibrahim's second wife. And she brought him a son. What was this son name?
Ismail.
Ismail.
Ismail means Allah listens to prayer, doesn't it?
But subhanAllah, both of them, because Ishaq also was, Allah's answered a prayer for him. So both of them was, from Allah blessed them. Allah blessed Ibrahim with these 2 sons. So Ismail, when he was still a small infant, a baby, Allah ordered Ibrahim, take your wife, Hajar, and your son, and put them in Mecca. At the time, Mecca had no one. At the time, it was still biwadin ghayri dhi zar'in. It was still a wad with nothing in it, barren, nothing, no people, no nothing. Nothing, it was empty. So Ibrahim, he take his wife, Hajar there, and he put her and her son close to where the Kaaba is.
Can I tell the rest of the story?
So what happened? So Ibrahim, he put them there, and what? Go ahead.
And then they were like, why are you leaving us here? And he was like, he didn't answer. And then she asked like a few more times, and then she guessed that did Allah has Allah commanded you to do so? And then he said yes, and then she said like then Allah will take care of us and He will not let anything harm us and will protect
MashaAllah.
us. And then
Perfectly said. So she said, أمرك الله بهذا. 3 times she was screaming it out. Ibrahim, أمرك الله بهذا. Did Allah order you to do this? And when he said yes, she felt safe. When he told her yes, Allah told me to do this. So he goes to the Kaaba and he raises his hand and he makes this dua. He makes this dua by the Kaaba. Anyone
was the
knows
Kaaba there?
Kaaba wasn't made by then, right?
There's no Kaaba yet. But there was, some said, Wallahu A'lam, that Adam had the foundation there, but the walls wasn't up yet. No, the walls wasn't up yet. Because later on, of course, him and his son built the wall. But he went to where the place of the Kaaba is. And he made this dua. Anybody knows the dua?
I know it's in Arabic.
Yeah, I wanted Arabic. ربنا إني أسكنت من
Dhikr.
ذريتي بواد غير ذي زرع عند بيتك المحرم. That's the dua. You know it?
Yeah.
Continue. Say it on the start then. ربنا إني أسكنت من ذريتي. Go ahead, Ala. Read it first. Who said the note? Ala, صح?
That was Allah.
Go ahead.
She's muted.
Give her a second. Give her a second.
Oh, her mic is blocked
She said her mic is blocked.
and she
Fine.
can't speak.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry, man. Where is? There's Mike.
Ala can't even hear us.
So who said? She said. She heard. Ala, can you hear us? Okay, leave and come
She
back.
said she was leaving, coming back.
Okay, I leave that dua for her because there's a beautiful dua that Ibrahim he made for his family. There's a beautiful dua that he made for his family. I leave that for Allah, and I'll continue until she's back. Let me know when she's back. So of course, you know the little food and water that Ibrahim left with his wife. The little food and water that he left with his wife ran out, of course, right? So Hajar, she panics. Anybody know the story? Tell me. Let me continue. Everybody know?
Safa and
I know
Marwa
I know the story.
and it becomes part of Hajj.
I know before it comes Hajj. What happened? What did she do?
I
She
know.
ran between two mountains. 7 times between two mountains.
Safa and Marwa.
There was two hills, the Safa wal Marwa. So she ran between the hill of Safa wal Marwa in panic.
Because the baby was crying.
The baby was crying. And okay, the baby is crying and she's running in panic, and a miracle happens.
An angel comes and digs up the Zamzam.
The angel comes and he digs Zamzam, and she runs back towards the baby, and she noticed the water, and she began to put the dirt around the water, like she built like a basin, and she's saying Zamzam, Zamzam, like she's zimming the water. She's trying to put the water in one place. You know, Prophet Muhammad says in one hadith, if she just left the water alone, it would become a river. You all know that Zamzam pumps millions and millions and millions of gallons.
Yeah, it never ends.
And it doesn't end. SubhanAllah. So it have so much. The source of Zamzam is a blessed source from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Question.
Yes, Abdul Rahman.
My question is that it's Abdullah. My question is
Uh.
that I heard another story that it was Prophet Ismail that used his foot to scratch the path.
It was saying that when he was crying, he was hitting his foot on the ground. But of course, his foot couldn't have dug the well by itself. So it was actually an angel that dug it while he was crying and hitting his foot on the wall on the ground. And then the story with his mother came and she put a basin around it and she was saying Zemzem and it was named Zemzem. So
What-
just to continue with the story, because it's a long story, we still have so much, right?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. You're back? Ala?
Yeah, it was just a problem with the internet.
No problem. It's good. So we said we leave the ayah for you when you come. So before this thing with the Zamzam, before the Safa al-Marwa, Ibrahim had stood by where is the Kaaba today, and he made this dua that Allah is going to read for us. It starts with ربنا إني أسكنت من ذريتي بواد غير ذي زرع عند بيتك المحرم. You know the dua?
Teacher, isn't it ربي اجعل هذا البلد آمنا وارزق أهله من الثمرات من كان منهم يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر. Isn't it?
No, this is the next dua from Ibrahim alayhi salam. But there's also one when he stood by the Kaaba and he told Allah, he asked, he said, "Oh Allah, I put my family there. ربنا إني أسكنت من ذريتي. Yeah, oh Allah, I put my family here. بواد غير ذي زرع, in a place where there's barren land. عند بيتك المحرم, by your sacred house. ربنا ليقيم الصلاة. Oh Allah, so that they could make salah. The first thing he asked Allah for, the first thing he asked Allah for is that they keep the salah, that they establish his deen. فَاجْعَلْ أَفْئِدَةً مِنَ النَّاسِ تَهْوِي إِلَيْهِمْ. Oh Allah, cause amount of people to come by them. So first Allah, he asks Allah for the religious needs, the yakim salah, and then the social needs that let people come around them. فَاجْعَلْ أَفْئِدَةً مِنَ النَّاسِ تَهْوِي إِلَيْهِمْ وَارْزُقْهُم مِّنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَشْكُرُونَ. Notice Ibrahim, he asked Allah for every type of human needs for them. He asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the need of people, because they cannot live there without people. Imagine a woman and a child living in the middle of the desert, in the dark, and in the desert by themselves. Even with water, how can they survive? Even with water, they needed people around them. So he asked them for people, and he asked them for the religious needs, even before that, the Yukim Salah, and he asked them for the Tamarat, what they need for life, basically water and food. And the dua also that Allah made was also a dua from Ibrahim alayhi salam, a general dua for Mecca. Yes, Allah.
I think I found the second dua.
تفضلي.
Okay. اللهم إني أسكت من ذريتي بود
غيري
عندي بيتك المحرم اللهم لقيم الصلاة. I think.
نعم, that was it. ربنا ليقيم الصلاة فاجعل أفئدة من الناس تهوي إليهم وارزقهم من الثمرات لعلهم يشكرون. نعم. This is the dua. So, and you also made an important dua, Allah, with the one where Ibrahim made a special dua for Mecca. But the one we were talking about was the one special for his family. And of course, now let us go, let's finish this story, and even if we make the Arabic part short, because let's try to finish up with Sayyidina Ibrahim today. So, because tomorrow is the games, of course. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he did visit his son on more than one occasion. His son grew up with this tribe, this Arabic tribe in Mecca. The question is, how did this Arabic tribe come to Mecca in the first place? Now, the story is, anybody knows? They saw the birds.
Ooh.
They were leaving Yemen. A lot of Arabic tribes were leaving Yemen because of the floods and problems in Yemen. So they see these birds flying around Mecca. Oh, tell
And
me
they
the
knew there
story.
was water in there. So they came and
Exactly.
they asked Hajar, is this water yours? She said yes. And then they asked her, can we live with you? She said yes.
Exactly. Imagine, look at the respect that the Arab had. They said, can we live by you? She allowed them. Imagine, this is men and women and a tribe. There was the Jurhum tribe that left from Yemen looking for a place to stay. And Allah blessed them to stay by Hajar. Of course, Ismail grew up and he grew up to be a prophet, and they believed in Ismail and they became mu'mineen. And Mecca, the first religion of Mecca was Islam. Ismail, he called the people of Mecca, the first people of Mecca, to Islam, and they believed in Islam. And he was the leader. Ismail was the leader of Mecca. But as he grew up, of course, there's many different stories. Some of the stories we're not going to say them today. Some of the stories we leave it later when we talk about Hajj. The story with sacrifice, we leave it for later. When Ibrahim came and Allah ordered him to sacrifice his son, we leave that story for later. There was a story with they built the Kaaba, the walls of the Kaaba. You know, when he was young, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered Ibrahim to go and build the Kaaba with his son, and they built up the walls, and then Allah told them to make 7 tawafs around the Kaaba. We'll bring that story up, the details of that story later. There's many stories with Ibrahim come visit his first wife and second wife, and so many different stories. But we wanna move on to we wanna go back to Ibrahim when he was in Palestine. But there was many different stories where Ibrahim visited his son in Mecca. The point is here that Ismail, the important point. So we can go back to Sarah now. Ibrahim alayhi salam visited Ismail many times, and Ismail alayhi salam became a new founder of an Arab descendants. So he became the father of the Arab also, Ismail. How is that? Even though there was Arab before him, Ismail alayhi salam, he was raised up with the Arab of Yemen. He learned their language. He learned their culture. He married them. He married the Arab women from the Jurhum tribe. He had 2 wives, 2 different wives from there. And he became the father of the new Arab descendants. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is directly related to Ismail. So he's from the descendants of Ismail. Now,
Didn't Prophet Ibrahim say a dua was like for Allah to send a messenger from
in the dua, yes, the dua that he does, you're right. In the dua, I think it's the same dua that Sister Ala was going to read. In the dua, he mentioned that send them a messenger that's gonna teach them the.
Isn't that
Kitab and
messenger
Hikmah.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
No, and it ended up being Sayyid Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes, correct for sure. So let's go back to where Ibrahim settled. Ibrahim, he settled in Palestine in a place called Al Khalil, named after him, in Hebron. Him and his wife Sarah, his first wife. And at a very old age, while they were living in Palestine, at a very old age, some angels came to them, 2 angels, and they told Sarah and Ibrahim, they gave them glad tidings of a son. And they also told them that the people of Lut, and we'll talk about the people of Lut later, they will be destroyed for their sins. But when they told Sarah about that she would have a son, she laughed. She laughed and she smiled and she said, how can I have a son at this age? She was a very old woman. It was impossible, but this was a miracle. Not only was Sarah a very old woman, also her husband was a very old man. Very old. You're talking about the elderly
And
at that
she,
time. Yes, you could cut me out.
and
Go
she
ahead.
was also a barren woman for a very long time.
So she was barren woman means that when a woman stops making babies, and subhanAllah, but this is a miracle from Allah. The same way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Allah made Adam without a mother and a father.
Yeah.
Allah made Isa alayhi salam without just a mother. Allah made Ibrahim, he had children when him and his wife were barren. They were, they did, when people don't make children anymore. When very old,
Ismail was
elderly,
Ismail
Allah
was born. Ismail alayhi salam was born when Ibrahim alayhi salam was like around like 86, I think.
but at the time he was still considered, Ibrahim was still considered young, even though of course they lived more in those days than us. But when he had Ismail, you said Ismail, when he had Ismail, he was still considered young. But when he had Ishaq, I think you meant Ishaq, right? Ishaq was his second son, yeah. When he had Ishaq, he was from the elderly. He was very elderly.
How was 86 young?
No, I mean when
Like
because you
when
said
long
Ismail.
ago, people lived for much, much longer years. So
That is true. They did live for much years. But when he had, the point is, I don't know, honestly, I don't know the number, the years, how much years he was when he had Ismail, how much years he had when he had Ishaq. But when he had Ismail, he was still in a normal age. But when he had Ishaq, he was, in the Quran, he mentioned that he was from the elderly. Him and his wife were both, they were barren. They were khalas, when people don't have any children anymore. And subhanallah, Allah blessed them with a miracle, and they had Ishaq. Ishaq, of course, became the father of Yaqub, and Yaqub the father of Yusuf, and Yaqub had a second name was Israel, and he became known as, and this generation became known Bani Israel. Some of them were good from Bani Israel, some of them were evil. Of course, the ones that call themselves Israel today, they're not even Israel. They are the most evil people in the world and have nothing, a lot of them are liars and have nothing to do with Bani
I
Israel.
heard that most of them are like German.
No, a lot of them are just Europeans that, and a lot of them, if you know, a lot of them are atheists. They don't even believe in God. They just use this politics to, for their benefit. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the original people of Bani Israel. They come from the son of Ishaq, Yaqub. And from them, they come many, many prophets. Musa and Dawood, Sulaiman, Dawood, Sulaiman, Isa, Yahya. So many prophets from Bani Israel. And subhanAllah, Allah blessed Ibrahim with two different descendants of prophets. From Ismail, he had, the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Al-Mustafa, the chosen prophet, the greatest prophet ever. And from Ishaq, many prophets from Bani Israel. And that I think that's enough, because I noticed the time just now. We will go to Arabic, of course, today without a break. Any questions? Anything? Or you guys want to add? Go ahead. There's not going to be a break today, so go ahead and add until I set up the Arabic. You could add or you could ask. Go ahead. Yes, please.
Khadija alayhi salam. Yes, Sarah alayhi salam. She was behind the curtains listening, because the three angels came.
You guys could hear Hania?
A little bit. The three
Yes.
angels came, and Ibrahim alayhi salam made a baby goat and give it to them and give it to
Yes.
them. Well, then he said eat, but they didn't even touch because they were angels.
Correct. This is one of the stories when he visited. This is one of the stories when he visited his son Ismail, and we said that inshallah we'll mention that story when we talk about more of the Hajj time. Yes, but this is one of the stories when he visited his son when he was a young boy. The story of the sacrifice. MashaAllah, Hania. You're right.
And teacher, and you said
Yes.
that there were two angels. There were three angels. One name was Jibril, Israfil, and
It was the two angels and Jibril. Yeah, the two
And one of them is
beautiful looking angels.
Mikael. Jibril.
Allahu Alam, I don't know the names, but there was the two angels that they came, because there was the two angels that they came special to destroy the Qawm Lut, the people of Lut, and protect
Yes,
Lut
it's
from
in
them.
Surah
And then
Al-Zariyat.
Jibril come from with them. Naam.
I have a question.
Then we
Go
have
ahead.
one more break.
The question I have is that didn't Prophet Ibrahim tell Prophet Ismail to divorce one of his wives?
Yeah, the first wife.
Yeah, because when he went to their house, he wasn't grateful for what he had.
Abdullah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Abdullah.
I finished what I was saying. Should I say it again?
Okay, I'm setting up the Arabic lesson.
Should I say it again?
Yes, go ahead, please.
What I said is that didn't Prophet Ibrahim tell Prophet Ismail to divorce one of his wives?
Oh, that's another story. Yes, when he came, the first time, you see, Ibrahim had many visits to Mecca to his son. The first time he came, and he found that he was married, he visited the first wife, and he asked her about Ismail. He said he's out looking for food, and she was very not grateful. She was complaining about how they lived. He asked her, how are you lived? And she was very ungrateful. That's the story you're talking about?
Yes.
And then he told him, tell her that a man visited and he gives salam to Ismail. And he said, leave your ataba, the front of the door, the gate. Leave your ataba. That's they call that like the front of the house, yani, or the gate of the house, or the front of the door. So when Ismail came back, she said, there's a man who came and visited you, and he gave you salam, and he said, leave your gate. And he said, that gate or that front of the house is you. My father want me to leave. That was my father, and he want me to leave you. Because of her ungratefulness, because she was complaining of how they lived. And then he came again and he found a different wife. He married the second one, right? The second woman. And he asked her about Ismail. She tell him she was very respectful and this one here was very grateful. This one here was very, she appreciative and, content and accepted what Allah gave her. So she said, Ismail is out looking for food. And he said, how is your livelihood? Ibrahim asked her, how are you living? So she told Ibrahim that we are living good. Ni'mat Allah, Fadl Allah. Yani we have the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with us. We have the blessings of Allah with us. Ni'mah. Even though in the hadith, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentions that he didn't even have bread. In the house, they not even have bread. They did not have bread. So he told this one because Ibrahim knew that this one, she was the type that she protected her husband's honor, and she protected their secrets, and she was grateful. She was very grateful. She accepted whatever Allah gave her. So he told her, tell Ismail that a man came and visited him, and he gave him his salam, and tell him to hold on to your ataba, to hold on to the front of your house. So when Ismail came home, she told Ismail the story, and Ismail told her, that was my father, and you're the ataba. You are the one mentioned ataba. He mentions you to be a good wife, and I should keep you. Now, that is the story what you was mentioning, Abdullah.
Yes, I also have another one.
Teacher,
No.
can I go use the bathroom?
Yes, of course. Now,
The other one that I have-
Ibrahim have so much stories. If we say Ibrahim stories today, we're never gonna finish. So go ahead.
The second one I heard is that there was a time when during one of his journeys, so when he went out, he had a bag with him, so he collected a bunch of sand Then he came back home with the sand in the bag. Then when he came home with the sand in the bag, he went to his room. Then when he went to his room, he started smelling something, and he went to go check what was smelling. Then he found out that his wife was cooking something. Then he asked, where did he get the things that you used to cook? Then she said, from what you brought home.
Subhanallah. No.
Have you heard of it?
No. Inshallah, get us the complete story, and I let you say it next class, inshallah. Next class, bring us tomorrow before the game. Bring us the complete story. I let you say it tomorrow, because right now, inshallah, let us start. Arabic was like I told you, tomorrow in the start of the class, look for the story, the complete story, correct? And I let you tell us the story tomorrow, inshallah.
Okay.
Because if you notice, look at the time, we didn't start Arabic. Arabic, we're going to try to make it very simple because of the time. What they want us to do in this activity, they want us to, you see the mithal, the example here. They want us, you guys could see my page, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can see the
I
Arabic
can't
page.
see it. It's black. I can see it. It's black.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's black. Yeah, Hani's my hair is black.
What about now?
Teacher, restart it. It's still black. The whole time it's black.
A problem with that?
Restart.
I think the problem is from you, because I shared it again.
So I'll leave it, come back.
Or look at Haneen's screen. Haneen, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, go Hania, look at Haneen's screen.
Okay.
So what they want us to do is, you see the mithal says al-madrasatu ba'idatun anil bayt. So the house is, the school is far from the house. They want you to take these two words here. You see al-bayt and al-madrasa. They did number one already for you. Al-madrasatu ba'idatun anil bayt. They want you to do the same thing for all of these examples. So al-jami'atu ba'idatun anil masjid. Like that. So we have how much left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the first, any person who raises his hand, I'll give it to them, inshallah, to do. So
We lower our hands.
lower your hands and then put up your hand when I say want to do this one. So number 2, I'm going to tell you whether it's close or far, and then you tell me qaribatun or ba'idatun. Okay? So let's say the masjid was far from the house. What will you say? Yes, Abdullah.
المسجد هو بعد البيت.
بعيدة عن البيت. المسجد بعيد عن الجامعة. Because you said مسجد الذكر, so you would say بعيد عن الجامعة. بعيد عن الجامعة. المسجد بعيد عن الجامعة. The masjid is far away from the university. What about this one, number 3? Number 3, Haneen, you want to do number 3?
Okay.
I have to tell you, it's close. Imagine it's close, not far. قريب. What would you say?
الصف قريب عن المختبر.
Correct. الصف قريب عن المختبر. That is close to the laboratory. The classroom is close to the laboratory. Okay, what about number 4? let's say it was far away. Number 4. Let's say the Kuliya and the Shaqqa was far from each other. Let me give someone else. Let me see. Ala, you want to do this one? Number 4.
Sure.
So if the college was far from the Shaqqa, for number 4, the Kuliya is far away from the Shaqqa, how would you say it?
الكلية بعيدة عن الشاقة.
Correct. MashaAllah. Al-Kuliyatu ba'idatun ani shaqqa. Perfect. Number 5. I'll give number 5 to Tala. And let me tell you if it's far or close. I'm going to just make it up, yani. And you have the Maktabatu and al-Mukhtabar. Let's say they were close by. What would you say? قريب. قريبة عشان it's feminine. What would you say, Tala?
قريبة.
المكتبة or المختبر.
المختبر قريب
عن
المكتبة.
عن المكتبة. Okay, that's great. If you said the other way around, if you say المكتبة قريبة, because you would go with the feminine, right? If you said المكتبة قريبة عن المختبر. But the way you said it المختبري, so now you have to go المختبر قريب عن المكتبة. So you said it right. You said it right. We have one more. Of course, we're going to have a short Arabic class today because we had the long story with Ibrahim alayhi salam. One more. Who really wants to do the last one? Let me see. Who really wants to see it? Tell me me. Hani, you want to do it?
Hania didn't have a turn.
Who didn't have a turn? Hania? Hania,
Yes.
you have here the ghurfa and the hammam. And let's say it is close. The
Okay.
hammam, let's say it is close by. So you're going to use the word qariba or qaribatun, right? Because it's close by. What you're going to say, if the room is close to the hammam, what you're going to say?
الغرفة قريبة عن الحمام.
Perfect. MashaAllah. Perfect. Jazakallahu khairan. This was a very short exercise for us. Very short exercise today because of the time.
Because we took up to like almost 1 hour for Islamic studies.
Oh, with Ibrahim's story. And if we keep, there's so much stories with Sayyidina Ibrahim that if we kept going, we wouldn't finish, But don't forget, Ibrahim was also sent the Suhuf. He was also from the prophets that was sent a book that was called the
Yeah,
Suhuf.
his book was like, I think the scrolls or the scripts.
The scrolls, yeah. And subhanAllah, yani, if we keep, mashallah, with Ibrahim's story, mashallah, so many. Now, give me 1 second here. I have to share the Quran page now. Okay. You guys could see the Quran page now?
Yes.
Okay. Of course, today is Wednesday, so you guys, it's Wednesday by you guys, but it's already Thursday by me. It's already Fajr by me. I could hear Adhan al-Fajr. But it's Wednesday. Today is the Wednesday's class, basically, for you guys. It's Wednesday. So Wednesdays, we read from the Musaf. Wednesdays, we read from the Musaf. Let me get everyone what they're going to read. Okay. For Ala, the last ayah you read was 25, right? So you start with today for 26? ولقد مكناهم. correct لا؟
Okay.
إن شاء الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولقد مكناهم في ماء مكناكم فيه وجعلنا لهم سمعا وأبصارا وأفئدة فما أغنى عنهم سمعهم أبصارهم ولا أفئدتهم من شيء إذ كانوا يجحدون بآيات الله وحق بهم ما كانوا به يستهزئون. ولقد أهلكنا ما حولكم من القرى وصرفنا الآيات لعلهم يرجعون. فلولا نصرهم الذين اتخذوا من دون الله قربانا آلهة بل ضلوا عنهم وذلك إفكهم وما كانوا يفترون.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله تبارك الله. So the end of that page is ayah 28. So up to ayah 28 tomorrow. Do you finish that page? You start, and then next week you start with a new page, inshallah.
Okay, جزاك الله خيرا teacher.
وإياكم
Am I dismissed?
وإياكم. Yes, you're dismissed if you like.
السلام عليكم.
مع السلامة. مع السلامة. Okay, Sister Selena, the last ayah you read was 60. Okay, so you start with 61 today, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وينجي الله الذين اتقوا بمفازتهم لا يمسهم السوء ولا هم يحزنون. الله خالق كل شيء وهو على كل شيء وكيل. له مقاليد السماوات والأرض والذين كفروا بآيات الله أولئك هم الخاسرون. قل أفغير الله
تأمروني.
Do you not pronounce the shadda?
تأمروني. نعم.
Yeah, that's right. قل أفغير الله تأمروني أعبد أيها الجاهلون. ولقد أوحي إليك وإلى الذين من قبلك لئن أشركت ليحبطن عملك ولتكونن من الخاسرين.
Okay, حسبك. نعم. No, you read it right. You read it right up to. So this is what number is this? 65?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I think that's from 61 to 65.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Practice these ayat by listen to one of the sounds of the Qari. You can find it maybe on this same website or on YouTube or wherever. And then, if you use this website, let me show you something. You could click wherever you want. Let's say you want to click.
Yeah, I use this website all the time.
And then you press play, you see it's gonna.
قل أفغير الله تأمروني أعبد أيها الجاهلون. قل أفغير الله تأمروني أعبد أيها الجاهلون ولقد أوحي إليك.
So you could listen and read after. You could listen and pause. This one or any other website. Yes, I want you to listen and inshallah.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, now we have Haneen and Hania.
Yes.
Haneen and Hania, you with me?
Yes.
You guys have Surah At-Tur,
Mhm.
correct?
Yes.
And the
No,
last
this is
ayah,
20.
the last ayah you read was 20.
Yes.
You start with 21 today.
Yes.
وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. والذين آمنوا واتبعتهم ذريتهم بإيمان ألحقنا بهم ذريتهم وما ألتناهم من عملهم من شيء كل امرئ بما كسب رهين وأمددناهم بفاكهة ولحم مما يشتهون يتنازعون فيها كأسا لا لغو فيها ولا تأثيم ويطوف عليهم غلمان لهم كأنهم لؤلؤ مكنون أقبل بعضهم على بعض يتساءلون قالوا إنا كنا قبل في أهلنا مشفقين.
Okay. You could do more for tomorrow?
No, okay, this is good.
That's good?
Yes.
Okay, so 21 to 26.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. Hania, same thing, please. 21 to 26, please, Hania.
Okay.
From here. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا.
والذين آمنوا واتبعتهم ذريتهم بإيمان ألحقنا بهم ذريتهم وما ألتناهم من عملهم من شيء كل امرئ بما كسب رهين وأمددناهم بفاكهة ولحم مما يشتهون يتنازعون فيها كأسا لا لغو فيها ولا تأثيم ويطوف عليهم غلمان لهم كأنهم لؤلؤ مكنون وأقبل بعضهم على بعض يتساءلون قالوا إنا كنا قبل في أهلنا مشفقين.
That's okay. Same thing like Haneen, 21 to 26 for tomorrow, inshallah. Okay, now I have.
السلام عليكم.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Now I have
حنين هانية.
نداء تعالى with Surah Mudaththir. Okay. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد Mudaththir. And then the number you guys read 30, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay, so 30. So you start, okay. You guys, yes, I remember the long ayah, right?
Yeah.
يلا. وما جعلنا أصحاب النار.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما جعلنا أصحاب النار إلا ملائكة وما جعلنا عدتهم إلا فتنة للذين كفروا ليستيقن الذين أوتوا الكتاب ويزداد
يزداد الذين آمنوا إيمانا ولا يرتب الذين أوتوا الكتاب والمؤمنين
والمؤمنون
والمؤمنون
والمؤمنون keep going والمؤمنون
والمؤمنون وليقول الذين في قلوبهم مرض والكافرون ماذا أراد الله بهذا مثلا كذلك يضل الله من يشاء ويهدي من يشاء وما يعلم جنود ربك إلا هو وما هي إلا ذكرى للبشر.
جزاكم الله خير. So is this subhanallah for you and Tala? Is this one ayah? This ayah is long. This ayah by itself is 6 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines.
What?
This one ayah. So
If you're surprised by this, search up the longest ayah in the Quran.
the one about Dain in Surah Al-Baqarah. I think it's 1 page. Yeah.
What?
In Surah Al-Baqarah, there's one ayah. It's a page long.
That's crazy.
No, it's not crazy because this from the Quran is from Allah. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He wanted it to be. Maybe for a reason, of course. Why did Allah choose the ayah of Dain, debt, to be the longest ayah? Maybe it's to teach us a lesson.
What's
Okay.
that?
Debt is like when you owe money.
Okay.
Oh,
Like when you take a loan and all of that. No problem. So you guys have this ayah 31 for both of you. Go ahead, Tala, read it, please. Ayah 31.
alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Here, Tala. وما جعلنا أصحاب النار
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما جعلنا أصحاب النار إلا
ملائكة
وما جعلنا
عدتهم
إلا فتنة
الذين كفروا ليستيقن
الذين أوتوا الكتاب
ويزداد الذين آمنوا إيمانا ولا
يرتب الذين أوتوا الكتاب والمؤمنون
وليقول الذين في قلوبهم مرض والكافرون
ماذا أراد
الله بهذا مثلا
كذلك
Mhm.
يس
يضل الله
يضل الله من يشاء ويهدي من
يهدي
يشاء
من يشاء. Mhm.
يهدي من يشاء وما وما
وما يعلم جنود ربك
وما يعلم جنود ربك إلا هو وما
وما هي إلا
وما هي إلا هو وما هي
ذكرى للبشر وما
إلا
هي إلا
للبشر
ذكرى للبشر.
وما هي إلا ذكرى للبشر.
Jazakallah khair. Tala, you have a lot of work to do. You have to listen. The same thing, you come to this website or any other website and you could click on it and just press play and it's going to play the ayah over and over and over for you and you listen and read.
Can you send me in the chat?
I'll send it in the chat. Okay, here. I sent it to you on the chat. 1 second. I sent it.
طيب السلام عليكم.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, we have left Abdullah and Abdurrahman. Abdullah and Abdurrahman, you have Surah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You guys have Surah Tahrim, صح?
Yes.
Surah
Next
Tahrim.
page. We're on the next page. We're only
Correct.
doing one verse. It's long.
So, Ayah 7. You already finished Ayah 7, so you'll start with Ayah 8. One Ayah today for you, both of you. Ayah 8. يا أيها الذين آمنوا. Who's gonna start?
Me, Abdullah.
يلا عبد الله.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا توبوا إلى الله توبة نصوحا عسى ربكم أن يكفر عنكم يكفر عنكم
سيئاتكم
ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار يوم لا ترجز
يوم
الله
لا يخزي الله
يوم لا يخزي الله نبي والذين آمنوا معه نورهم
يسعى بين أيديهم
وبأيمانهم يقولون ربنا أتمم لنا
نورنا
واغفر لنا أتمم لنا نورنا واغفر لنا إنك على كل شيء قدير.
MashaAllah. This one ayah, I need you to practice it over and over a lot. Today and tomorrow, before the class tomorrow, listen. You could use the same website or any other website. Listen and then read. Listen and read. So stop, every sentence, every line, listen to it and read it after the qari. Listen and read. Listen and read. So
Okay.
tomorrow you have it perfect, inshallah. Yeah, Abdurrahman, you ready?
Yes. أعوذ
Yes,
بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا توبوا إلى الله توبة نصوحا عسى ربكم إن يكفر عنكم سيئاتكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار يوم لا يخزي
الله النبي.
يوم لا يخزي الله النبي والذين آمنوا معه نورهم يسعى بين أيديهم وبأيمانهم
يقولون ربنا
أتمم لنا نور
يقولون ربنا أتمم. Start from يقولون
ربنا أتمم لنا نورنا
واغفر لنا.
إنك على كل شيء قدير.
جزاكم الله خير عبد الرحمن. The same thing. Practice again and again and again. Listen and read. Listen and read. جزاكم الله خير. You guys have a great day. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم.
مع السلامة.